great to have Simon and Chris here with me today, founders of Leeds ME Network. Thank you so much for joining me and becoming a part of Leeds Millions Missing 2021. Leeds ME Network is a patient self-help group and was first created in 2012. The group aims to offer information and support to people across the city. They also host monthly support meetings via Zoom. Simon, could you tell me a little bit about kind of the reason for first starting Leeds ME Network?
Well, there was a previous Leeds support group which started in 1988, and Chris and I were involved with that, but it folded for various reasons in 2012. I think really it was a victory of its own success. It was a very active group. It took a lot of people on the committee really to run it. As people left, then there weren't people to replace them really. So I think in spite of the best efforts of those who were there, it just had to fold eventually in 2012. At that stage, Chris and I were patient representatives at the clinic in Seacroft, and we decided to see if we could set up another meeting, because it was clear that another group was still needed to support people with ME. Also, there was problems at the clinic at the time, and we wanted to support the staff there that we knew. So that was another reason for saying.
Well, I mean, the group itself just seems to have just kind of grown and grown, isn't it? You've got quite a presence now in the Leeds ME community. I mean, Chris, when you've spoken to people throughout lockdown, have you felt that it's had an impact on the ME community or not?
Well, in some ways, during lockdown and coronavirus, obviously, perhaps the impact on ME people, particularly those who are more severely affected, bedbound, housebound, certainly, it's probably been impacting on those of us who are in that situation less than the average person who was always out and about, because they could get out and about. But at the same time, we had other challenges to face. Mm-hmm. So lockdown, yes, it's impacted everybody. And maybe a lot of people with ME, the more, as I say, the more severe end, medium to severe end, it's definitely impacted them, but perhaps not in the same way as the general public. It's not just the frustration at not being able to go shopping or not being able to go out and about to cinemas and theatres, etc., when people can't get out and about anyway. But yet other challenges have come along during lockdown, which have affected negatively the ME community. Do you want me to state what that might be? Yeah, so in fact, I mean, it's a very simple one. I mean, it's not just people with ME, but getting shopping. I mean, a lot of us with ME, for example, get our supermarket shopping delivered. Well, once COVID came, lockdown came, the whole world and his dog decided to try and sign up for supermarket deliveries, which meant that it was incredibly difficult for us all to get those slots, to get that availability. It has improved during lockdown, particularly as certain major supermarkets, whose names I won't mention, decided that they would be more obliging to the previous customers who were struggling to get slots. They realized that actually, some of us actually needed the slot because we couldn't possibly go shopping in person or whatever. So that's eased up a bit. But that was one major factor, the inability to get the food delivered.
I think a silver lining, because obviously there was that huge impact on shopping and getting it delivered. And I know that was all over social media at the time, because people were genuinely struggling to get food in their house, which was not okay. But I do think that there is a silver lining of kind of the social aspect of life has gradually got more accessible online, and obviously working from home and little things. So you've kind of got the negatives and the positives as well. But I think, especially from kind of my opinion, the world has become more accessible from your bedroom now, and hopefully that's something that will stay. But we'll see.
Well, yes, indeed. And with Leeds ME Network, for example, instead of having their regular meetings, which they used to host once a month at the John Lewis Cafe in town, we've gone on to Zoom meetings. So it means that some of us have met people who we've never met before, because people have been able to do it from bed. They've been able to join the Zoom meetings. So that's been very interesting. And I think that's been one great asset, that those who perhaps formerly felt quite excluded from ever meeting with their peers or talking to other people with ME, blah, blah, can now join in if they want to through Zoom. Even those people who haven't been able to yet make a meeting, make a Zoom, join in a Zoom meeting, are very pleased to have the option.
Definitely. I mean,
You know,
Simon,
they might be able to because it's just clashed with something that they've got on an appointment or whatever, or they're just not well enough that day, but they know it's there and that they can join in, they're welcome to join in. Whereas they would never have been able, these people perhaps, to make it to John Lewis Cafe.
Well,
So,
thinking
yeah.
of yourself, Chris, in fact, you hadn't been for several years, had you, to a real meeting?
Yeah.
When Zoom came along, you've been attending the meetings, which has been great.
Yes, yes.
And Simon, how can people kind of get involved with the Zoom meetings? What's the best way for people to get in touch?
Yeah, the best way really is just to find our website, which hopefully should be easy enough.
People who are interested in joining the Leeds ME Network monthly Zoom meetings could go to www.leedsmenetwork.yolasite.com, and then they can find kind of the way to access it that way, can't they?
Give us your email, and then we'll send you the regular email newsletters, or you can contact directly through the. There is an email address given specifically for the Zoom meetings, so you can contact us through either of those email addresses. They're both on the website, so they shouldn't be difficult to find. And then we'll send you a code so you can come on to Zoom.
Fantastic. And how do you guys plan on celebrating Millions Missing this year? Are you kind of active on social media?
We are active on social media. We're both on Facebook and on Twitter as well. But Simon's got a wonderful reply to this question, so I'll let him go with that one.
Well, I just said we'll do whatever you tell us to do, Charlie, because I think it is great. I have made a few notes about this because we think it's great what ME Action and Millions Missing have done every year, really, in raising awareness of all the many people with ME who have disappeared from the lives they should have led through no fault of their own.
This year, people are doing the window displays, and there's so much going on. And I think on May the 12th, it's just going to be, social media is hopefully going to be full of all these images of people just across the UK connecting. And that's what Millions Missing is all about. And just because we can't meet in, our city squares this year and meet around, arguably more people can get involved and feel included. So it's probably going to be the most accessible Millions Missing that has ever been. So, there's positives to that as well. But what changes have you guys seen since starting Leeds ME Network? Have you had to change the way that you support people? Have you kind of seen the ME community grow? What have you seen?
Well, we used to get people phoning in. It was a helpline we had, and I used to get a call every day, pretty much from somebody. And these days, people don't really like to use the telephone very much. So we do still offer the telephone helpline if people want to phone it. But people need to reacquaint themselves with the technology, really, because people just aren't used to using the phone. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I wouldn't say that they don't know how to use a phone. Not everybody has a landline.
Not used to phoning so much. They're more used to sending texts or
Well, yeah, no, not everybody has a landline. I mean, we have mobiles, and we still have a landline. I think the thing is, a lot of people these days are used to doing messaging of one sort or another. Text messaging, iMessaging, whatever, messaging via Facebook, emailing, blah blah, and they don't so easily pick up the phone, particularly to strangers. So
definitely
we notice the lack of people who do need support. They can get support via us, but we're still doing it the old-fashioned way. If you can only send us your email details, and we'll arrange a time to speak to you on the phone. We're having to sort of spell that out to people because people are very reluctant. A lot of people, maybe it's only in this scenario where they're ringing people that they don't know for help or support or information. People seem to be more hesitant in the first instance.
Also, there are a lot of different other sources that people can get information, isn't there? There's not just the local group. There's all sorts of Facebook groups, which are very useful.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. And I think sometimes people find it easier to kind of, because it's quite a vulnerable position to put yourself in, isn't it? To call up and say, actually, I need support and I need help. And I think sometimes people, I mean, I know I would find it easier to send that in a message and hide behind my screen than I would to be able to say it to a voice over the phone. And I think, you know, I do think that's kind of a sign of the times at the minute as well. But it's good that people feel that they can reach out to you for support. And finally, obviously, is there anything that you would like to say to people who haven't come across Leeds ME Network before?
Just that you're very, very welcome. You, your loved ones, your carers, your friends, your family, whoever, you're very welcome to come and join us either on a Zoom meeting, and you know, you can introduce yourself if that's what you feel able to do, or and hopefully John Lewis again sometime. And also we're wondering, this will depend on the coronavirus and the restrictions being lifted and how things go, but we're wondering about having an open air meeting in one of the parks or something this year, aren't we, Simon? That would, you know, if, well, weather permitting, obviously weather permitting, and toilet availability, because lots of the facilities have been shut in various places, but that is an option that we're looking at in a safe environment, an open air environment, to just, if people just fancy getting together or whatever.
Well, I've got to say, as someone who first came across Leeds ME Network about 3 years ago, it is such a lovely support group. And obviously it's not just kind of monthly when you come on the Zoom meetings or when you're in John Lewis that you speak to people. I'm speaking to people, you know, every week that I've met through the group. And it's just lovely to have people be supportive, but also for people to understand and to know that actually they live 10 minutes away. Yeah. It's nice to have support, but to have local support, it means so much. So I really love Leeds ME Network, and I can't say to people enough that it's really worth looking at the website. And even if you can't come to Zoom meetings, just, you know, liking the Facebook page or the Twitter and you know, feeling connected that way helps. It helps a lot for me, and I'm sure it does for a lot of people.
Chris does a great job of updating the Facebook page every day. So it's a really very good source of information. And something else I should mention as well, because people do ask, there isn't any charge for joining the group. No, you just get in touch with us, give us your email address, and you'll be on you'll receive the regular newsletters, and then you can come along to our meetings or just make use of us in other ways.
And if people, I think if people also need signposting, if they feel that they're not sure, they've got an X problem, that they've got ME, or they may not even have a diagnosis yet, but they think they've got ME or whatever, they might need signposting to where to go next, how to get help next with whatever. And we do have lots and lots of resources where we can send people or share with people, that we can share with people.
Fabulous. Well, no, thank you both so much for chatting to me today and for all the work that you do for Leeds ME community. I really, really appreciate it. I know everybody else does as well in the city. So thank you ever so much. And I can't wait for kind of the next monthly support meeting. So thank you.
Yeah, it's only in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your